Before you import your first batch of records that have attached holdings, there is a one-time setup that you are going to need to go through. Contact Spark Tech Support and ask them to help you configure Vandelay/batch import settings. What that phrase means, basically it's a behind-the-scenes evergreen setting that will auto-complete many of the required item attribute settings. When you contact tech support, you will need to provide them with the first 5 unique digits that all item barcodes from your Spark location begin with, a default call number prefix, a default circulation modifier, such as book, and a default shelving location. If you have questions about any of these, again, just check in with Spark Tech Support and they can explain. To import batches of records that have attached holdings, as we've gone over, you will need to use something called a holdings import profile. Now, when MARC records have attached holdings, the details from those holdings are stored in a special customized MARC field with special customized subfields. The screenshot that we see now is an example of such a MARC record. The holdings details for this record are stored in the 852 field. And if we take a look at these subfields in that line, we can make a pretty good guess as to what each subfield refers to. Subfield B, that has the Spark shortcode for the location that owns this item. Subfield C is the shelving location for the item. Subfield J looks like a call number. Subfield P is a 14-digit number, probably an item barcode. And subfield Z is probably an item status. So then, the holdings import profile, put simply, is the guide that tells Evergreen what MARC field is being used to store holdings data, and what subfields within that field are being used for each particular kind of holdings information. Once you have Vandelay batch import settings properly set up, from that point on, Spark has a pre-installed holdings import profile that should work for all of your batches. The name of that profile is Evergreen 852 Import and Export Format. If for whatever reason Evergreen 852 Import and Export Format is not compatible with the batch that you have, get in touch with Spark Tech Support, and they can walk you through the process of creating a customized holding import profile. So to go through the process of batch uploading a set of records that has attached holdings, as before, we start by going to cataloging at the top of the screen, and then we select MARC batch import/export. The first area to consider is record type. Make sure that you leave this set to bibliographic records. Below that, at Set or Create a Queue, click in the appropriate area and type in a descriptive queue name. Directly beneath is Record Match Set. Click in the relevant area and pick the only option that comes up, ISBN. After that, now is when we choose the holdings import profile. So click the drop-down and select a profile. Unless you are working with a custom vendor-specific profile, you most likely will want to select Evergreen 852 Import and Export Format. Directly below at Merge Profile, click the drop-down and select Match Only Merge. The next 4 areas are all things that we don't need to touch. So moving up to the top of the next column, at the area that says Select a Record Source, click the drop-down and from the options that appear, choose the value System Local. Directly beneath, where it says Limit Matches to Bucket, you don't need to do anything here, so just leave this area as is. Leave it alone. Below there, all the checkboxes that have to do with matching. We need to select the same 3 checkboxes as before. Import non-matching records, merge on single match, and merge on best match. All of the MARC file upload settings are properly configured, so it's time for us to select our file to upload. Click the Choose File button, browse to wherever your record batch is stored, and select it. It'll be in .mrc format. And finally, click the green button that says Upload. Uploading of your batch might take a bit of time. As before, 3 progress bars will appear, and you might need to scroll downward on your screen to see all of them. But once they're all filled, scroll down a little bit more if necessary, and click the Go to Queue button. And here we can see the results of our upload. There were 11 total MARC records in our batch, and all of them imported successfully. All of the 11 MARC records had an item record attached to them, and all of those item records imported successfully as well. Of the 11 MARC records, 5 had matching MARC records which were already in the Spark database. To view details about the specific call numbers and barcodes, click View Import Items. And to get back to where we were before, click Return to Queue. The title control numbers for all of the imports are available in the column here. To view one of the records, click the TCN, and the record will show in the staff catalog.